Have you ever felt that sudden, explosive rush when you see a massive sale? That pulse in your chest as the clock strikes midnight, the doors swing open, and hundreds of people flood the store like a tidal wave. The air is thick with tension, excitement, and a strange energy that makes everything feel urgent. It feels like a battle. A chaotic clash of instinct, desire, and impulse. And at the very center of it all, your brain. Here's the shocking truth. It's not just greed. It's not a flaw in your character. It's science. Your brain is hardwired to respond to certain triggers, and Black Friday activates every one of them. What happens inside your head might scare you and fascinate you, all at once. You're about to discover why a $50 gadget can feel like winning the lottery, why seeing limited stock can turn you into a frenzied shopper, and why your brain can literally trick you into buying things you don't need. This isn't a story about shopping. It's a journey into your own mind. The dopamine rush, your brain's pleasure switch. The moment you see a sale, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical of pleasure. It's the same chemical that makes winning a video game feel exhilarating, that makes chocolate taste divine, that makes social media scrolls feel impossible to stop. On Black Friday, dopamine surges to levels your brain rarely experiences. Suddenly, a tiny 10% discount feels like gold. That cheap gadget isn't just a bargain, it feels like a treasure chest, a win, a victory. And your brain whispers urgently, "Take it now or you'll miss out!" This rush can be so powerful that it overrides logic, turning rational people into impulsive buyers in seconds. The thrill isn't about the object, it's about the chemical high your brain craves. The illusion of urgency. Time is running out, limited time. 1 day sale, only 50 items left. These words are like fireworks in your brain. They flood it with stress hormones, triggering a fight or flight response. Suddenly, what was a calm shopping trip becomes a ticking clock of panic. Your brain doesn't process these warnings rationally. It interprets them as a signal to act immediately, no questions asked. Even the calmest, most patient shopper can transform into a frantic, pushy, desperate version of themselves. Marketers know this instinct better than anyone. They create a sense of scarcity and urgency that makes your brain feel pressured to act before it's too late. And in that moment, impulse beats reason every single time. Herd mentality, following the crowd. Have you noticed how a once quiet store suddenly turns into a stampede? People pushing, grabbing, racing toward the same shelf. That's herd mentality in action. Your brain looks at the crowd and thinks, if everyone is doing it, it must be important. I better join in. It's a survival instinct, wired over thousands of years when humans depended on group behavior to stay alive. Today, it's exploited perfectly by sales events. Seeing others rush triggers your own urge to join the stampede, even if you weren't planning to buy anything. Your brain is following an ancient rule that once kept you safe, but now it's just a clever marketing trick. FOMO. Impulse control, under siege. Your brain can't stop you. Deep inside your skull sits the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that controls decisions, reasoning, and self-control. On Black Friday, it's under siege. Dopamine floods in, stress hormones spike, and suddenly, that rational, logical voice in your head is drowned out. You grab items you don't need, spend money you didn't plan to, and later wonder, why did I do that? The answer is simple. Your brain wasn't thinking, it was reacting. Impulse bought the victory, and your prefrontal cortex lost the battle. The scarcity effect, only a few left. Only 3 left. Last chance. These phrases aren't just marketing tricks, they're chemical triggers. Scarcity makes your brain assign more value to items than they deserve. Even if you don't need it, seeing that something is limited activates an ancient fear of loss. Your brain screams, get it before it's gone. And just like that, you reach for your wallet, convinced you're making a smart decision, when in reality, your brain is hijacked. The pain of missing out, FOMO, a tiny hurt that hurts. Big FOMO isn't just a social media buzzword. It's a real measurable reaction in your brain. Watching others grab deals or seeing friends post their Black Friday hauls online triggers a chemical sensation similar to pain. Your brain interprets missing out as a small threat, urging you to act. The fear of being left behind feels worse than the joy of actually gaining something. On Black Friday, This tiny pain drives people to act recklessly, in buying not for desire, but to avoid the sting of missing out. Decision fatigue, too many choices. Too little control. Black Friday is mentally exhausting. Endless aisles, endless deals, endless options. Your brain can only process so much at once. As the day wears on, your self-control drops and fatigue sets in. Decision fatigue is real. Even a simple choice, like picking between two similar headphones, becomes a battle. Every decision drains your brain's resources, leaving you vulnerable to impulsive buying. By the time you check out, your brain is exhausted, dopamine is high, and logic is gone. The reward loop. Once is never enough. Buying something releases a tiny rush of dopamine. That high tells your brain, do it again. Retailers design Black Friday experiences to exploit this. Flash sales, coupons, and points create endless reward loops. Your brain craves the thrill more than the item itself. Each purchase, no matter how small, fuels the cycle. You start chasing the dopamine, and your wallet and your brain struggle to keep up. Social proof. If they buy, it must be good. Ever see a crowd around one product and instantly think, that must be the best one? That's social proof in action. Humans evolved to follow the group for survival. If everyone is doing it, it's probably smart. Black Friday exploits this instinct flawlessly. Seeing a crowd rush a shelf convinces your brain that the item is valuable. Even if you didn't plan to buy it, suddenly you feel compelled to join the group. 10. Breaking the cycle. Winning back. Your brain. The first step to mastering Black Friday is understanding your brain. Recognize the rush, notice the stress, and pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Entrain your prefrontal cortex with lists, limits, and clear goals. Shop intentionally, not impulsively. When you act with awareness, you win. Not the sale, but control over your own mind. Black Friday doesn't have to control you. Knowledge is power. Once you understand how your brain reacts, you can step back from the chaos, make better decisions, and even enjoy the experience without falling into the dopamine trap. Outro, your brain, not your wallet, is the winner, so the next time you see a massive sale, remember, it's not just a bargain, it's a battle inside your head. Dopamine, stress hormones, herd mentality, scarcity, and FOMO all conspire to make you buy. But now that you know the science, you can rise above it. You're not addicted to shopping. You're addicted to dopamine. And now you know the secret.